Hello, friends, and welcome to Empower You 2 podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Paris, and I'm excited because you are in the building with me. You can be anywhere in the world, but you have chosen to be here with me, and I am so humbled and appreciative. Let me tell you about this show. Each and every single week, we continue to empower you to greatness that is truly going to help you, whether you are a person that have experienced a heartbreak, have gone through a divorce, or have endured levels of trauma of any kind, or you're just a person trying to rebuild their life and themselves, and now you are finally ready to live a life full of abundance, joy, and peace, then this show is for you. So with that said, thank you again for being here. I am extremely grateful. I'm excited to be on this journey with you because together we are empowered for greatness. You ready? Let's go. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Empower You 2 podcast. I am super excited, as always, to come before you. I am Natasha Paris, your resident licensed mental health therapist, and of course, your empowerment strategist. And I am always excited to come before you because there are so many things that are happening in the world, and it is so exhausting. It is so sad. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. But before I talk about the light at the end of the tunnel, I want to jump right in and let you know that this Empower You 2 podcast is super excited that you're listening. And as a result of you listening, I want you to first hit that 5-star button and let us know how much you appreciate what we are doing on this side of town. In addition to that, I want to hear from you. I want to hear a comment. I want to hear how this has really impacted you. In addition, lastly, I want you to share this particular episode because I'm sure you know some people that are struggling. And I really want you to be in a place where you are not just sharing, but you are making an impact. Right? You are making an impact. So with that said, let's jump into our episode 158. Let's go. Okay, my friends, the title of today's episode 158, season 2 is After the Fall, Moving Forward Through Love, Career, and Life Loss. Oftentimes, things like loss happens, right? It can happen where there is someone that you loved so much and then they left, or you losing a job, or you really trying to find yourself and you feel lost. Loss comes in so many different variations, and it's important for us to understand that there are ways to cope and ways to get you back on your feet so you can still live this amazing life, my friends. And so let's talk about it. Let's talk about what loss looks like, because loss can be very devastating, and honestly, it requires you learning how to navigate that journey, that road towards healing. Okay? And so let's talk about love and loss, or loss in love. Okay, so what I know for sure as a licensed therapist is that I have counseled thousands of individuals, specifically in the area of lost love, heartbreak, divorce, and emotional betrayal, where someone who you thought were in your corner actually ended up really hurting you, really using you. And so what I know for sure as well is that even though those emotional hurts have occurred, it does require you to move forward. Because honestly, when you go through an emotional impact like lost love, it does something to you. How many of us have really, really questioned our identity, questioned whether we did the right thing, or questioned whether we were adequate enough? I know I have. Have you? Or feeling levels of loneliness, my friends, feeling lonely, feeling like, wait a minute, I've given all that I could give, and now I just feel so alone. Or that emotional feeling of confusion, trying to figure out what happened. What did you do? Did you see the signs? Did you pay attention? Why did they use me the way that they did? Why am I now going through a divorce when I said I was never going to go through a divorce? Asking those questions to yourself, allowing yourself to ask and receive, but are you really receiving the answers to your questions? Well, my friends, I have some answers. I'm not saying I have all the magical answers, but what I can say is that I do have some answers. What I know for sure is when you've experienced loss in love, how do you move forward? The first thing is grieve what was. Grieve that relationship. Grieve it. Cry it out. Scream it out. Yell it out. I promise you will not be judged. Well, I would say you will not be judged by me, because you have to get it out. You have to grieve what you lost. And don't let anyone tell you that you need to get over it. It's been 2 days. Come on, let's go to the bar and let's meet someone else so we can get under someone else. No, no, no. Don't use that saying, in order to get over someone, you have to get under someone. That doesn't work at all. Not one bit. It just makes you even more confused. So don't rush it. Grieve what was. The second is, I want you to reconnect with your sense of self outside of that relationship. Because so often people get so involved in the relationship to the point where they've lost themselves. They forgot what it meant to take themselves out for lunch or watch their favorite movie or doing the things that they enjoyed because they wanted to appease the other partner. Right? So reconnect with your sense of self outside of that relationship, my friends. Another is, I want you to engage in what I call self-soothing rituals. Yes. Journaling, writing down things that you want for your life, seeking therapy, going out in nature and enjoying the sun. That in itself speaks so profoundly. And then, of course, I say try new experiences. Go take a cooking class, take a salsa class, do those things that really expand your perspective on who you are and what the world has to offer. Travel to a place that you've never traveled to. Do those things that you've always said, okay, I hate this. I hate to say I hate, but bucket list, okay? We're not talking about a bucket list, those things you want to do on your bucket list. We're talking about a life list. What do you want to do in this lifetime? And start doing it. Okay, my friends, let's talk about it. I can't pretend that it's not existing, when in fact it is existing. The world is a different place now. it is a different place. With this new administration, it has caused so many heartaches and loss of jobs and employment. And so, with that said, I won't politic on it, but I will talk about it as it relates to loss of career, because too many people are losing their jobs because of budget cuts or because the wealthy wants to remain wealthier, and those like myself are being subjected to their selfish ways. Let's just talk about it in that way, okay? But I don't want to spend time talking about all of the things that are happening, but I sure love to talk about, I would love to talk about is how can we move out of the loss that we've experienced when it comes to job loss, career stagnation, or just losing your identity after retirement. Yeah, that's a real thing, right? Emotional effects of it is truly something to talk about, such as shame and feeling levels of fear and comparing yourself to others. Those are real. So, how do you move forward when you have lost your job? Or you actually went into retirement, but you feel like you've lost your identity because your identity was so connected to the work that you did. The first thing is, I want you to normalize that type of grief. Careers can be like a relationship. I'm going to say that again. Careers and a job can be like a relationship. You were in that quote unquote relationship for 20 years. You knew backwards and forward how to get back to work without the GPS. You had a routine on how, when you were getting up in the morning and getting your coffee and getting dressed. I mean, it was a routine. You did it over and over and over again for 20 years. And also, you ended up making some really great friends during your time while you worked there. But then something happened. They told you not to come back, or you voluntarily left. That is a loss. That is truly a loss. And I want you to know that it is normal to feel what you're feeling. Second, begin reimagining your strengths and your values. Imagine what that looks like. Start saying what are the things that you are strong in and what do you value. In addition, I want you to take a pause and I want you to redirect and say, what did this loss make room for? Come on now. Let's turn this around. What did that loss make room for? Did it make room for your own opportunities, such as working for yourself? Did it make room for you to enjoy your grandchildren? Did it make room for you to travel the world? Because you've been saying that you wanted to do it for a very long time. But of course, if you've lost your job and have lost employment and financially you are struggling, it probably made room for you to see you and make a decision to go off on your own, right? That in itself is so powerful. Changing the trajectory of that situation by looking at the situation and saying, how can I use this to my advantage? And then, of course, I want you to begin to network and explore. Don't rush for clarity on trying to make sense out of why and when and what, all of the W's, right? Don't try to make sense as to what took place. Accept it, grieve it, let it go, and redirect that energy to yourself, my friend. It is possible, it is plausible, and it is something that can really turn out to be a good thing for you, even though you're grieving. The last is the loss of a loved one. Oh, that hits so hard. When you have lost someone that you've loved, it can be very hard. It can have you go through emotional waves, which includes numbness, anger, despair, guilt, all of those things that really is uncomfortable, and it is not easy when you've lost someone that you've loved. But what I am asking you to do today is pay attention, honoring the loss. How do you do that? You acknowledge that there's no one way to grieve, that grieving is a process and it looks different for everyone. In addition, it is important for you to build an opportunity for rituals of remembrance, whether that is storytelling, talking to family members and friends about old days, right? Days where that person that you loved who also passed away, you can talk about them, you can laugh, you can remember. Also, my friends, it is important to accept help when needed. It's okay to say, I am not well. I'm finding it very hard to just do my daily routines. Ask for help, because when you ask, it will be received. I promise. It will be received. So, my friends, overall, when we're talking about loss of love, career, and a loved one, I want you to know this to be true, that it is important for you to be patient with yourself. It's important for you to take your time, because grieving is not an overnight thing. I want you to accept help. Like I just said, it is not a sign of weakness, but it is a sign of courageousness. It's a sign that you are strong. So often people walk around expecting things to change when they do nothing to change it. But asking for help means that you have the courage to admit that something is wrong and you are ready to move forward. The third is, I want you to create small goals for yourself and reclaim yourself. Reclaim you. Make some small goals for yourself and say, I know that I am going to get over this. I know that that love that I lost is not the end of me. And then also, I want you to find and create meaning in the loss. It's important for you to know that, yes, this was something that you could not have prevented, but there is something that you can learn from, and there is something that you can grow from, my friends. Right? This is in itself is very, very important for us to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It may appear very dark at the current juncture. It may appear like nothing is going to change, but if they do change, they just get worse. I want you to know that God lives within you. You have the power to move past any situation that has been brought to your table. And as a result of that, you don't have to eat it, but you can admit that it's there and you can decide how you move from there. And I say move forward, because life is not easy, but it is so worth it, my friends. It is so worth it. So with that said, I hope that this episode 158 really resonated with you. I hope that you were able to gain some coping mechanisms to support your healing, because it's in healing that we grow. Actually, it's in difficulties that we grow. And as a result of the difficulties, healing comes. And I am excited about your growth. I'm excited about where you're going. I am excited that you continue to listen to the Empower You 2 podcast. Your listening, reviews, and comments and sharing has made a huge difference. So I am very, very, very grateful to that. And so with that said, you know how I end every episode. Are you ready? Come on, let's say it with me. Be empowered for greatness, because without greatness, there's no you. And without you, there's no greatness. All right, my friends, I look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Bye.